Hey guys, Frank here, your virtual general aviation aviator, and welcome to this live stream. Now, I am in the Citation X at Signature in Miami, Florida, at Miami International, and our flight plan today should take us to Orlando. And so, without further ad- ado, let's get started. So this is the jet that we're flying. It's the Citation 10, and it's the default jet by Laminar Research and X-Plane 10. And by the way, guys, I love this plane. Um, it's it's real simple to fly once you get the hang of it, and it behaves as expected. The systems don't go deep as I like for them to go, but they go deep enough to get some enjoyment out of it. All right, so let's jump in the cockpit. And I don't know if I got anybody on the stream. I can see chat, but I can't see the number of people joined if I got anybody joined. Let's see. Um, Give me a second here. Let me see if I can't pull stuff up on my iPad. And if I look at your videos and go live, then I'm not seeing my live stream. So yeah, I don't even know where to get it from. Let's see, YouTube. Let's see, try going home and let's see, hit the live button from home. And yes, so I am really not seeing. Anyway, enough of that. Um, so I don't do live streaming enough to know the ins and outs, everything that I should know about live streaming, but hopefully we can get this stream to cooperate. All right, so let's get in the aircraft. And yeah, so here we are. So you can see that the look like we do have some rain, and um, I do have a chat list that I am going to use from, actually, I'm going to use my mental chat list, or yeah, I'm going to use my mental chat list. I did find out recently how to use the open chat list here. So I might even start using that a little bit more. Anyway, but this flight, I'm not going to use it. All right, so let's check our brakes, make sure they're set, and let's go ahead and get our batteries on. We've already, for all intents and purposes, done our walk around. And I'm gonna work my way to the right, skipping over stuff, but hitting stuff that I know I need to hit. I need to get my ignitions off of normal and turn on my ECAS, turn on my standby. And that reminds me, I should have did this before I started the stream, but for some reason, whenever I start stuff, it's never, all this stuff is always down, turned off. So let me get some some of this stuff turned on. All right, because the idea was you should have been able to hear stuff start up. But anyway, it's a little bit late for that now. All right, so working my way on to the right, I'm gonna go over until I get to my auxiliary pump, and I'm gonna turn that on. What that'll do is pressurize my hydraulics so I can get, so that these brakes that I just engaged to work, and turn on my nav lights, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my ground recognition lights. Okay, one click. This is a three-way click. The top click is strobes. All right, and turn this guy on. and start my APU. And now this is not in my chat list. It should be, but the interior master is off by default, so I want to turn that on. Without that being on, none of the stuff, including the lights in the back, would work. Okay. All right, so I got 100% on my APU, so I'm gonna go ahead and load it, and I'm gonna turn my packs on so I can start getting the aircraft comfortable for my passengers. Okay, now I can come back over here and turn my avionics on, and oh man, look at the weather. And this is an IFR flight, incidentally. And let's go ahead and turn on, set the GPS. Okay. All right, so we got that initializing. I don't have any IRSs on this aircraft to worry about, but in the rear airplane there would be some IRS buttons, so we can turn the Internal Revenue Service on and off, right? Right, okay. A little joke there. I got jokes. I also got a cold, so if I sound a little hoarse or out of it, it's because I am. All right, so now I want to tune my radios and go ahead and listen to my ADAS, right? So I got this guy here that actually come with ATC chatter. Um, and I can get my ADAS here, 119.15, and I'm going to tune that here on COM2, 15 and 119. Pop that in, make it active, happy, happy. And now I can go over here and listen to my ADAS, get my clipboard and something to make notes with, which I don't always do. Okay. And yes, I got my trusty ink pen. So why am I not hearing my ADAS? 119.15, 119.15, COM2. Um, I'm at Miami, right? Let's see, let's just check and make sure I'm at the right airport. Miami, signature. Yep, I'm at the right airport. And Miami, ADAS 119 point. Yeah, so why am I not hearing my ADAS, guys? Let me try this. Um, X-Pilot. ADAS is enabled. X-Pilot. All right. So normally I could um, pause this thing and sort it out, but since I'm doing a real world flight, then I guess I can't do that. Let's try listening to it on COM1. So COM1, 119.15. There we go. And why am I not hearing any ADAS? All right, so anybody got an idea what I'm doing or not doing? You know what? My generator is. There we go. That was the problem. I didn't turn my generator on. All right, so. Okay, so I can tune this guy back to clearance delivery. And I'm still listening to it on COM2 now. Visibility more than 10 miles. Rain. Sky conditions scattered at 2,700. Scattered at 4,300.
Broken at 6,000. Temperature 28. Dew point 20. Altimeter 3009. Arrive at runway 0908 left. Departing runways 1208 right. Advise on initial contact you have. Information Sierra.
All right. So I heard 18 right. I didn't hear 18
Miami
right
International
left.
Information Sierra. 1740 Zulu. Wind 070 degrees at 11 knots. Gust 20. Visibility more than 10 miles. Rain. Sky conditions scattered at 2,700. Scattered at 4,300. Broken at 6,000. Temperature 28. Dew point 20. Altimeter 3009. Arrive at runways 0908 left. Departing runways 1208 right. Advise on initial contact you have. Information Sierra.
Okay, so let me turn this off. So yeah, let me turn my this COM1 back on before I forget. And looks like what I've got is arriving on 08 left and departing on 008 right. So that means that I am going to need to make a modification to my flight plan. So how should I do that? Should I go back out to SimBrief, make that modification and regenerate it? Or should I just go ahead and use, um, actually, I think let's see, arriving 8 left, departing 8 right. Um, I'm just going to keep what I got and, um, yeah, let's see. Arriving 8 left and departing 8 right. So yeah, we'll just take 8 right. All right. So even though my flight plan says 8 left. All right. So speaking of flight plan, let's go ahead and get that set up. And if I do get any lurkers on the channel, then please say hi so I know you're there. Um, I try to talk through everything because you still would be able to watch this as a video in playback, but sometimes having you guys on the channel with me makes it all a lot more fun, and I'm trying to learn to engage you guys and fly the airplane, which is a skill. All right, um, so what I'm gonna do, I've already got that generated here, so I'm gonna just go to my company list and find that flight. Um, so next page, I got 5 pages of flights here. Say I left Fort Lauderdale many a times here. So here's Miami to Orlando, and I only got one. That's the one that I want. All right, so I'm gonna activate that, and there's my flight plan. All right, so next thing I want to do is put in my arrival and departure, at least my departure, and I'm departing what 8 right, and I'm departing on I think the bags. Let's see. I need to pull up my flight plan, so just give me a second. Let me get it so I can share it with you guys. And um, so yeah, here we go. You guys should be able to see it now. So let's see. Let me show it to you on the map. So this is the flight plan, and as you can see, we're gonna take off to the east and swing north, and then back southwest, and come out, fly over the ocean, and then we're gonna turn eastward and fly to Orlando. So yeah, that's the plan. And let's say I need routes and impacts. So my route is I'm doing 8 right on my departure as opposed to 8 left. So I'm departing Glads 2 at Bags. All right, so let's hope that's in our flight plan. Available. Okay, and Glads 2 is what I'm looking for at Bags. Glads 2 at Bags. Perfect. All right, so we'll go ahead and activate that. And 8 right, yep, happy, happy. Okay, so I should smile when I say happy, happy, right? Happy, happy. Okay. Anyway, um, yeah, so let's keep going here. All right, so I don't think it's going to let me do my departure, my arrival until I do my, well, let me do, it will let me do my arrival. Okay, so my approach, and I'm gonna do the same thing. Pull that flight plan back up, and I've got I got boxcar um, on the Mine 5 arrival. Boxcar is my transition, and I'm looking for 3-5 Romeo, a 3-5 right. All right, so yeah, that's the plan, and let's get the sim back up. Okay, so we know we want runway 35 right, and we'll do the ILS as opposed to an RNAV. Um, and Hannah is going to be our transition. All right, so now we can get the star, and what was the Mines 5. So next page, Mines 5 at Boxcar. All right, happy, happy. And let's activate that. All right, now we're cooking with gas. All right, so at this point, we can go ahead and do our performance initialization. And aircraft is the 750. Tail number is 750 X-ray Papa. That's what we want. And climb looks good. Cruise looks good. And, I don't think in this particular aircraft I can change any of this anyway, so I'm going to have to accept it. Very little I can change in this. Step increments 2000 fuels MBAA. Not sure what that is. When I run across something that I don't know what it is, I really should start looking it up and start learning to train myself to understand every detail that I don't understand. Maybe one day, maybe that would be my New Year's resolution. Since we are almost already into November. Okay, initial cruise altitude is going to be 16,000. All right, and I can't change any of this. It gets my winds automatically, so that's sweet. And the next page, which is the final page, is 8 passengers. Whenever I do a flight plan for the citation, I always use 8 passengers. I just do. And the passenger weights are always wrong, but I can't really change it. Let's see. Let's try it again. 8/230 because that would include the baggage. And yep, no go. All right, so let's clear that. And let's get our fuel. We've got 11,000 pounds registering in the aircraft, and we need to make this flight Let's see, what do we need? Um, we don't need much. We don't need 11,000 pounds. I do know that. Let's see. So find the right icon here at the bottom and click on it. All right. So we need, let's go to summary and fuel. We need 77,700 pounds. We got 11,000, so we are good, right? Um, and I'm not going to have any fuel. I'm not going to have any fuel taken out. Okay. So I'm doing the process I guess they call tankering. Let's see. So I want to bring up my flight simulator back up. And let's see. So I can go ahead and let it read how much fuel I got and pop that in there. And it says I'm unable to reach 5,000 at sea salt, my first one of my waypoints on the V now. All right, so let's uh, let's defuel. I don't that that might help us reach 5,000. All right, so customize weight and balance, and um, actually, I really should come here to set this stuff up. So anyway, I want all my fuel, and I'm gonna bring that down to about 8,000. Okay, bring that down to there, and eight, two. Let's say, well, it said 170 times eight. Two times eight is 800. Um, let's see, what, got lost in my math here. Um, but I tell you what, let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. Let's look at our total payload. That's total payload for this flight. And bear with me. There we go. So our total payload, let's see, routes and times and weights is what I'm looking for, is 1.8, 1,800 pounds. Then with the fuel, our takeoff weight becomes 31,000, but our total payload is 1,800 pounds. That's passenger and cargo. All right. So, yeah. So let's pop back up into the sim. Let's say, hit this button, and that gives us a view. So 18, yeah. So we are there. 18. Yep, right where we need to be. All right, so I'm happy. Let's apply those. And let's see, let's go back. And we still can't reach salt at 5,000. So we will change that in a few minutes. So let's go ahead and enter that. And 4 pages of performance data. And I'm just going to swing through this stuff. And then takeoff, right? And next, let's see, runway right, outside air temperature, and pressure altitude. Yep. Okay. Elevation 9 feet. Okay. Um, Now I can't change it to a wet runway. I wish I could. And we're gonna do a flaps 15. I can change it to a flaps 5, but yeah, we'll do a flaps 15 and confirm that. And okay, so happy. All right, so let's go ahead and put our flaps 15 in while we're thinking about it. That's 5. And Let's see. So I it should stop right here at 15. And as with my yoke, I do always have to check because it will skip one, and that's something that I got to spend some time and figure out why. Just haven't done it yet. All right. Hey, Lance Boyd, how are you? Check check your waypoint shown. Okay. Adjust that, and that will fix my unable to unable at 5,000 at sea thought. Okay. So check my waypoint form. Yeah, I was gonna move to that in just a minute. Actually, what I was actually gonna do was go to the waypoints and change the altitude for sea salt. Say flight plan. What's that? Yeah, flight plan next. Actually, was going to, let's see, flight plan next page. I was actually going to change. It's got 52, 60, 53, 62, and I actually was going to change it to 250 at 45, which on a flight that I've done similar, that 10 it to work. But if there's a better way to do it, then if you'll walk me through it, then then yeah. So if adjust the waypoint. So when you say adjust the waypoint, I'm not sure what I need to do to adjust it. I know I can make this like, say, 5362. I'm gonna remember that number. 4500. Actually, I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna do 230 slash oh, back 230 slash 4500, and that usually will fix the problem. Let's see, next, unable, still says unable. Let's see, I'm not sure how to execute that because I normally don't do it on the second one. I hate to say this, your FMS will not clear, quit, and start over. Okay, so when you say quit, you mean just go back to my flight plan and go to my first page. Let's see, flight plan, page one. Uh-oh, you might be right. How do I create a new flight plan? Program, flight plan, purse. I tell you what, let's see, confirming it. Actually, lowering it don't seem to have fixed that anyway. So yeah. Uh, let's see. And page 4. So when you say quit, quit X-plane altogether, uh, that sucks. Yeah, let's since yeah, that would add I feel like the guy on airplane with the sweat dripping off. I got a cold and my temperature recently broke, so and I can tell because I am sweating like a like that guy on airplane. I learned to review the okay. Yeah, it does sucks. Yeah, because it sucks so badly. I am going to take that under advisement for the next flight. Um, Even though, let's see, I think lowering the altitude may have fixed that issue. If it didn't, then then I will restart. I think this may have fixed it. If it didn't, then I'll restart. Let's see, let's grab this guy here. And but I appreciate the tip because I know to do that going forward. Um, to check everything before I initialize. And you're right, it really does suck. All right, so previous page, Hannah. I thought I had a discontinuity there to drop that in. I must have done it already and then pick this up again. So anyway, yeah. So that's the beauty of using the simp. Now let me ask you something, and this will determine whether or not I actually will restart the sim from scratch. I can still fly. It will still fly with. Let's see. Now that I've gotten rid of that message, let me let me clear my throat. Let's see. Let's see. I don't think this message is going to come back now by lowering sea salt. But if it does, I will restart it. Um, but the question I was going to ask you is whether or not this this right here denotes that I can use my keyboard. Um, the question that I was going to ask you was, will it still fly to V now? No, that point is out of sequence with the remainder of the waypoints. It needs adjusting. If the message is gone, you're good to go. All right, let's see if the message is gone. Let's see. Uh, duh, 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 duh. Let's go to takeoff and page one. Let's see. Confirm. Next, climb. Yeah, I think that cleared it, just lowering it. Um, because that's the way I have been doing it in the past, and it seemed to fly the VNav okay once I make that type of adjustment. So, but the tip that you just gave me makes more sense for real world immersion. So I definitely will will use that going forward. All right. My initial cruise is 16, flight level 16,000. It's a real short flight, even though my flight plan is taking me way out over the ocean. It would have been a short plan flight, but my flight plan is taking me some places where I could have actually used a higher cruise, but we'll do 16. Um, you know, I should listen to the ATIS again, make sure that that's going to get me over the weather. So yeah, let me do that. Let's see, it's COM2.
Station Tango, 18, 10, Zulu. Wind 070 degrees at 11 knots, gust 20. Visibility more than 10 miles. Rain Sky conditions scattered at 2,700.
2,000.
Scattered at 4,300. Broken at 6,000. Temperature 29. Dew point 20.
Yeah, I think
Altitude
16,000 to get me over the
3009.
weather.
Arriving runway 09. 08 left. Departing runways 1208 right. Advise on initial contact. You have information. Tango.
Okay, Tango. And let's get rid of this guy. And let's get rid of this guy. And so I'm not really doing a VATSIM flight or anything like that. So I'm really kind of faking the clearance delivery stuff. And clearance delivery will give me, I think it's runway heading up to 5,000 feet or something. So yeah, let's at least that's what we're gonna do. So I tell you something else that I need to figure out how to do in this aircraft, Lance, is I need to figure out how to set. Well, I'm seeing it now. I know I did a flight before, and I wasn't seeing my course here. Let's see. The course. Oh, shucks. Let's get out. Course. Yeah, the course is working. You know why? I think I know why. Because I changed it to FMS and then trying to change the course. Yep. Live and learn. Live and learn. All right. So let me pull up. Let me pull up my. What am I pulling up here? I need a chart. I need a departure chart. Okay, so just bear with me. And let me get my departure chart up. I think I can remember how to get that up. All right, so top altitude is 5,000 and runway 8 left and right, climb on heading 092 to 520, then direct to sea salt, and then track 007 to Dells. Once I get to sea salt, then I'll let the autopilot turn me to Dells. So I'm not going to do a lot of hand flying on departure. But let's see. So let's get back in the sim. And 092. It's on my course is what I'm looking for. So get this down to 092. And happy. All right. So yeah, there we go. And let's go ahead and set this to that, lest we forget, and set our top altitude to 5,000. And Miami is a Bravo, so we'll set our nav, what are we setting? Set our speed. That's what I'm trying to set. to, that number was, let's go to perf takeoff, look that back up, 134. See, 134. I actually could have got it by looking. Another place that I could have gotten that information is going to V speeds here and take off V speeds. So yeah, could have got it there rather than going back to my FMC and looking at the purse. Okay. So what I was going to set that to 143. What was it? 134. 134. All right, happy. And what am I missing, guys? What am I missing? All right, so we got our flaps 15. We got our initial heading set. Actually, I can set that to my runway heading. I sync that when I take the runway. And yeah, so so I'm doing all this on the APU. It would have been smart to do it on the ground power and then start the APU a little bit later, but that's okay. We're about to start the aircraft now. Brakes are set, and let's see, make sure everything look okay, and let's set this to okay, and then turn our packs off, do a no pack start, bleed on high, and Marshall is out there. We got thumbs up for two. I don't. This aircraft don't have chocks, and I can only open the door from the inside, so I know that they're closed. All right. So let's turn the ignition on, and let's start it. All right. Okay, and let's give it some fuel. And I do need to put my squawk code in and all that good stuff. Yeah, so let's just set this to altitude, and then let's go ahead and get the other engine started. Let's see. I meant to go high on, there we go. All right, so I want this to be above 10% and one above 10%, but it didn't light off until 32%, so I'm good. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring that up, and I get light off now. Oil pressure's in the green. Hydraulics is up. And let's go ahead and finish this squawk code. All right, 2203 works for me. And we got 6 nautical miles on the TCAS. TCAS, I am going. Hey, Rain Man, glad you dropped by saying hi, hello, hello, hello. I'm flying the Citation 10, and I have no problems admitting that when it comes to streaming, it's often a challenge for me to maintain the aircraft, to fly the aircraft and engage the audience or you guys. So just be patient with me, and we'll get there. All right. So let's see what our cast messages says. Yeah, turn I will forget this part every time. Um, Turning on the generators, and I do have a chat list. I'm just not going by it. Let's see. I'm gonna go over here and turn this guy to off. And yeah, so I'm happy with that. All right, so part braid on, no takeoff, and pitot static, and RAT heat is off. So what's throwing that caution? G 1000%. I'm not sure what that means. All right. I know it is a lot of airplane for, but hey man, I see guys fly stuff a lot more complicated than this, and I'm always in awe that they can fly it and make it look so simple and engage their audience as like it's really easy. All right, so I am going to go ahead and switch to ground, and that switches me to ground, and I've already got my clearance, and yeah. All right, taxi to, let's see, where am I going to taxi to? I can tell something is landing. Let me start my iPad, share that with you guys. All right. So, so I am taking off on 8 right, and I'm right here at signature. So I'm going to take kilo up to kilo 1, cross 8 left to 8 right. All right. So got my taxi instructions. Now, if this was a TBM, I could not taxi with the flaps in because the TBM is so low that the flaps could pick up FOD. Okay, and let's see, where am I going? Oh man, where in the devil is the how do you get out of here? Now this is certainly a sim issue because in the real world you don't have this issue. Trying to figure out how to get out of a parking area. Let's see. Okay, so looks like what I want to do is come over here and then make a right turn, a left turn, I mean. and grab this yellow brick road. Okay, we're on the yellow brick road. Happy, happy. All right, so let's go ahead and turn on some taxi lights. And yeah. Hey, I kill. I'm butchering your name. Sorry about that. At kill. And yeah, so I'm having to look this way to look at my chat. And when I do that, take my eyes off the runway, and you know what happens with me? I will run off the. Ooh, that was not cool. All right, so I am going to make a right turn here. Yep, yep. All right, and I should be on kilo. This is not freeware, it's actually default. It comes, this aircraft comes by default with explain, if you're talking about the well, everything that you're seeing is default except for the traffic. I don't know what happened to the livery on the traffic, but the traffic is being generated by Traffic Global, which is a payware. Everything else, the airplane, the airport is default from from Explain, Explain 12. So so I hope that answers your question, Rayman. What time is it here? It is 2:53 p.m. and I'm in Eastern Standard Time. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think I am flying. That's a good question. I think I am flying real world time. Yep, track real world time is on. Yeah, so it's 2:53, and let's get this guy moving again. Whoa! Now I tell you what's not agreeing, and that happens sometimes. The let's see, am I at the top of the runway? I am. Um, the aircraft that just took off on the other end, so the traffic program is not agreeing with the sim. But I'm gonna go by what Ada's told me to do, assuming that that's what. Anyway, I'm taking 8 right. All right, so I'm gonna cross. I don't see anything coming. See if anything's coming in. Turn on my labels. Okay, so he's climbing out and look again. I don't see anything coming in, so I'm okay to cross. Cross runway 8 left. Citation 750, X-ray pop.
Approaching runway 08 left.
Hold short runway 8 right. And yeah. All right. Approaching my hold short line. What camera this can't move? Um, let's say there's an icon over that last word, and how do I turn it off? I don't know how to turn that off, but what camera? Let's see, what camera blank? What camera? I can't see the word behind the camera. I guess that's is this and can move. I'm using, yeah, that's a good question. And Rain Man hit it right on the nose. I'm using a camera system called X camera that allows me to set up views on on my numeric keypad. So if you look here, if I want to, this is my palette view, and this, let's see, I have to click into here. Okay, this is my palette view, and this is viewing quick view out the window. This 8, the 7 is left view. Number 9 is right view. So I try to correspond stuff with the way the keyboard is set up. So yeah, that's my APU and my PAX view. Speaking of PAX, I do need to turn those on before I take off, which I'm glad you asked that question, because if you had not have asked, I would have taken off without turning them on. All right. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. All right, clear for takeoff, runway 8 right, citation 750, X-ray Papa. Okay, so here we go. All right, get these lights on. Landing lights are on, strobe lights are on, static heat is on, when the windshield heat is on, and something through a caution, a warning. I'm not sure what. In real life, getting a warning would probably send me back to maintenance, or at least have the aircraft checked out before I take the runway and take off. All right, so flaps are set, lights are on, and a transponder set. So why are we throwing a warning? Yeah, throwing it twice is not good at all. Okay, I got no takeoff. I probably got my flaps set to the wrong. Well, flaps are set to 15. Trim is set, so I shouldn't be getting a warning. Still getting no takeoff. Let's see, let me move my flaps and move them back to 15. See what happens. Anybody got any idea why I may be throwing a no takeoff? Fuel boost. Normal. Turn the fuel boost off. Turn these on continuous. Yeah, that one's got a bug in it. No takeoff. I don't normally get this no takeoff when I'm flying this aircraft, so not sure what's wrong. Yeah, I'm going to have to ignore it. I am going to have to ignore it. All right. So I'm going to get a warning, but I think the only way to fix it would be to just restart the flight from scratch. And I'm not going to do that. All right. I think winds were 15 gusting or something. All right, I'm a little late on rotation. Positive rate, you're up. Get rid of this guy. Look out the window, which you don't do in a real airplane. All right, and VNav is working. Nav is not working. Why is my nav not working? I haven't engaged my autopilot yet. Need some power because I am getting slow. And let's see, I didn't sync my heading. Let's do that now. And let's engage the heading. Y'all damper can come on. And so I'm trying to fly this guy here as best I can. With the winds, it's really hard. Let me turn my yoke on so you guys can actually see my inputs here. So yeah, and pull that power back so I don't overspeed. Flaps out. Make that turn. Let's see. Go to nav. Autopilot. All right, so let's do this. Let's try to go direct to Dills and see if that works. Get rid of that guy and nav. Still no joy. So where's Dills? So why is it turning? All right, so let's. Yeah, stop complaining. I know. I'm trying to go direct to Dills. And see that? Yeah, you're right. That Lance, that unable, even with the lower altitude, came back. And you know what? Look at there. That's the problem. I can't get this guy to go into FMS mode. Okay. Now, nav, there we go. Happy. All right, autopilot. And at this point, I can go direct to live. Okay, okay, that looks good. All right, hands off the throttle. I don't see a magenta line, so I'm not sure what it's doing.
Bank angle.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it's doing. It's probably trying to do a 360. So I am gonna let it do what it want to do, and maybe it will come back and pick up my plan, which is not the way you fly an airplane. You don't let it do what it wants to do. I know, right? Your air nav is off. Uh, Actually, I got now air nav on. Right, right. It was off at one point, and now it should be back on. So, okay. So let's see. Um, Look like my next waypoint ought to be selfie. So let's see if it finds that automatically. Yep, I'm turning towards selfie, even though what's highlighted is blurred. So top of climb is here, still in the mix, in the ring, in the soup. All right, so I'm gonna tell it direct to selfie. Get rid of this. There we go. Now we should pick up our flight plan. All right, happy, happy. All right, still got 5 degrees of flaps in, so let's get those out. And that should give us slats. And we'll take our slats out. All right. And at this point, at selfie, looks like we can start our climb. So let's take the altitude and let's take it up to our 16. So I've got the Bravo. I'm able to use the Bravo to change my altitude and this kind of stuff. Now, this plane does not have auto throttle, so I've got to manage the speeds manually. All right, so let me get here where I can see everything. Move in a little bit closer and start that descent. Let's see. We do flight level change, and that way it can go down to the 250. So turn my Bravo to 250 right here, and that should give me a climb. And give a little throttle here. And my nose should come up right here. And I'm thinking at about 8,000, I should be out of these clouds. Maybe 10,000. But I definitely want out of the mix here. Get out of the soup. You need to do so you need director. Let's see. I tell you what. Let me do that. I can. stick that in to push. Okay, you need to do direct to selfie. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Thank you. So we were on the same page. Manual flight, it's I had some issues with the flight plan. Well, not with the flight plan, with the VNav, and Lance told me that I was going to have these issues unless I restarted the sim, which I refused to do. So I just kind of dealt with them and made them work. Yep, I already did. So yeah. So now all I want to do is break out of the clouds and give it some more throttle so we can climb a little bit faster. I got 82 on the throttle here. I mean, let's say on the 95 on the N1. And it should be trying to hold it at about 250. All right, there's 10,000. So I can turn these lights off. I'm gonna leave my strobes on. Some some company SOPs will have you turn your strobes off after you reach 10,000, and my company like, well, I'm gonna keep them on. Okay, so we're looking for 16, and I pulled that throttle back. It made me level out because I was climbing a little bit faster than I wanted to. So climbing at 3,000 feet a minute. This 2,000 is about what I want. So 75.2 on N1 gives me close to what I want. So 75 point. I probably need to work on my curves there because I touch it a little bit and my N1 goes a lot higher than I want it to. But yeah, I can live with this. Yeah, that's a good decent climb rate. All right. And yeah, breaking out of the soup here. I love the Citation. It's just something about this plane that looks really, really sporty to me. It's just an attractive plane. And back in its day, it was Cessna's fastest. Actually, it was the fastest business jet available at one point. And there's a story behind that. The Cessna did the 500 series, the 560, um, and a bunch of other aircraft that had developed a reputation as being slow jets. So the moniker Slowtation kind of stuck with Cessna for those jets. So Cessna decided that it was going to make a jet that was faster than anybody else's jet. So they came out with the Citation. And of course, that did what they wanted it to do. It got rid of that Slowtation moniker that was attributed to Cessna, and at the same time, it became one of the world's fastest business civilian jets. And yeah, so that's a little bit of history behind the Citation 10. Um, well, the Citation, some of the Slowtation jets were also called Citations, but the Citation 10 specifically was the one that they built to break that moniker. Okay, so let's see where we are, guys. Okay, and I didn't realize I still had my iPad on, so some of what I was able to look at, I guess you guys couldn't see this this stuff over here when yeah. So apologies for that. So yeah, I'm about to make the turn to Glads, and the flight plan to Orlando is taking me off the land. And kind of think of it, I'm actually in the Eastern time zone, so it's actually at this point it's 3:16 in the evening, Eastern Standard Time, or 3 minus 5 is 11 UTC. It's at 10 UTC. My math might be a little bit off. Let's see what radar says that I got. If radar see anything for me to contend with. All right, so no real weather. Some weather south of me. Okay, and I have flown through my altitude. See how important it is to monitor these instruments? Because I have flown through my altitude and kind of making a mess here. So, so you can see that I've almost lost control. This aircraft starts to oscillate something terrible when it gets above 320 or 30 knots. At my place, it's I'm gonna force that to move up a little bit so I can read it. At my place, it's evening, 2 o'clock in the evening. So where are you? Where are you in the world? It's funny to say that and mean it literally. Where in the world are you? You know, you call a relative and they're not where you think they're supposed to be, and you go, "Where are you? Where in the world are you?" But in this case, I kill. Where in the world are you? Literally. So yeah, still a little slow here. So bring that up right there. Slide in a little bit closer. Too bad it's cloudy outside. I would love to be able to look down and see the terrain, see the scenery. Explain scenery is nowhere near as beautiful as Microsoft Flight Sims, but it's still pretty good scenery. And I am running ortho photogrammetry, so if I could look down and see the ground, it would be true to life. I can see with this weather here, the darker this is, the thicker the clouds it seems to be. And that's just anecdotally speaking. That's just noticing how it works just by using it. Let's see. I can turn that off. Um, oh, so which that one MDF weather. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Yeah. So given that my departure was a pure show, poop show, then at this point we're not doing too bad. Oh, yeah, English is perfect. Indonesia, awesome. Shout out to Indonesia. And your English is perfect. The I've got on the chat there's a heart icon that's sitting right over the last word. So so when I look at the text, I literally have to raise it up a little bit by hitting a period or something so I can see if I missed any words. And Jeff, hey man, how you doing? That's okay. Glad you glad you were able to stop by. Um, Guys, Jeff is one of the guys who I chat with, um, not in real time, but we have done a lot of chatting over the months, in the by just leaving each other messages. So it is so nice to chat with you in real time, even if you can only say a quick hi. Yeah. So so again, I'm not the best. I'm not the best streamer in on YouTube. No, I take that back. I'm the best streamer on YouTube. Yeah, right. And I got some prime real estate at the south end of Florida that you guys might be interested in buying. But yeah, this journey takes, let's see, be about, I should be touching down at Orlando in less than an hour, in about 40 minutes. And that is if my um, if this is correct on my these numbers at the bottom of my iPad, and they are counting down. So yeah, they should be fairly correct. Yeah. So I got 248 nautical miles to my destination. My ground speed is 380 knots. I don't have a headwind. Don't Winds are calm. So yeah, yeah. I should go ahead. I hate that it's cloudy though. I really want to look down and see the ground. That's always a treat in X-plane, in my opinion, from these middle altitudes where you're not so high that everything just look blah. And anyway, maybe at some point during this flight I will get out of the clouds, which is kind of doubtful. Um, Grandpa duties to take care of. I get it, my friend. I get it. So let me get rid of the iPad before I forget that it's on. because when I look at my screen, I don't see the iPad, and therefore I can easily completely forget that it's on. Yeah. So I normally just do recordings, edit them, and then put them out. Um, that's There are two reasons why I do recordings. Is because if I make a mistake and it's just a god awful mistake, then I can redo the flight. During the editing process, if I find myself doing a long pause or here in cruise, I can speed things up and or just got more creative control over the flight by doing stuff in post. However, in streaming, whatever I do is what you get. Oh man, the clouds are breaking up. Cool beans. And I would be over the water. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm over the water, but maybe we can look off of a wing and see some ground. So yeah, when I do the stream, I am the good side about doing a stream is when I finish, YouTube would generally make it available, and I don't have any editing to do. And quite frankly, editing can take a while to, if I do a if I do a flight that's say 2 hours long, then I generally would have to watch that entire flight. That way I can remove mistakes and put time codes up if I want to put chapters in. So that's to make a long story short. That's 2 hours flying, then 2 hours watching it, and then some time editing it while I'm watching it. So a 2 hour flight can cost me easily 4 or 5 hours. Um, Streaming after after I land the airplane, then that's it. I'm done. Um, so what I need to learn is how to put the music in while I'm streaming, and how to put an intro in and all that good stuff, and then that way I can give the stream a little bit more production value. But but in the meantime, this is what we're getting. So let's look out of the first officer's window, and yeah. So there is a trick that's available to explain where if I wanted to speed things up, then there is a key. It's the Alt T key, and T stands for time. In fact, I believe it's in here somewhere. Um, no, I don't see it. Alt T, Alt T. But anyway, I could hit the Alt T and I could speed this sim up by 2 times, 4 times, 8 times, and up to 16 times. So I tell you, picture's worth 1,000 words. So right now I'm flying at twice the speed, and this is 4 times the speed. Let me look out the window. That way you can see the ground scrolling by, and 8 times the speed and 16 times the speed, and back to regular speed. So yeah, I do have the ability to speed things up during the live stream, but what fun is that? So too bad we can't do that in the real world. Speaking of flying in the real world, I was able to take a 3-hour flight on an Airbus A. Well, let's see. I went to Mexico from North Carolina, and I flew in A320 Neo from North Carolina to Atlanta. From Atlanta to Mexico, I flew in A321, and this is real world. I mean, I didn't fly it; I was a passenger. Uh, I flew it from I flew an A321, and on the way back from Mexico via Atlanta back to North Carolina, I flew on a A320. Um, both both legs of that was on a A320. So yeah, I I have a hard time finding airlines that travel where I want to go on a Boeing, and I so desperately want to take me a flight on a Boeing because I do fly the Zebo Boeing 737, and I fly the IXEG Boeing 737-300 occasionally. Now, I'm not, I don't fly them well enough to even record the flights because oftentimes I run into some VNAV, RNAV problems and crash. So, at Kill, what time is it? Did you say it was there in your neck of the woods in Indonesia? I think you said it was 2 something, um, 2 o'clock in the evening. So you are literally on the other side of the world. You are roughly about 11 hours from our location. So, so yeah, that's about as far away from North Carolina or or the East Coast of America as you can get. Another hour, and you would be a full 12 hours away, which would mean that you are literally on the other side of the world. So the clouds are clear up, and we're over water, so that kind of sucks. But that's okay. We won't be over water very much longer. Um, let's see, where are we in terms of? So yeah, let's bring up the iPad, and we are what 36 nautical miles from Boxcar, basically. And actually, I didn't have to do it that way. I could have just did it this way. iPad could have just did it this way. 32 nautical miles from Boxcar. So we're getting there. And flying at roughly 300 knots over the indicated. Winds are pretty calm, so our ground speed ought to be pretty close. We got a 386 knot ground speed. And looks like we've got, let's see, I don't have a real error on the winds, but we got maybe a 7 knot tailwind and a 10 knot crosswind from the left or from the west. So we got a northwest wind. So that means that maybe a wind that's heading out quarter here. So let's see. We got 3 minutes before we get to that waypoint. So that should give us enough time to take a quick tour. Turn off X camera. And so yeah, the Citation 10. You still like some really luxurious seats. Now, one thing I didn't like about the 10, or don't like about the 10, see this aisle here? You know, the seats are raised, so you actually have to step up. And quite frankly, I like the airplanes that have the flat floor, but it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, so it's not much to see. Again, this is default, so most of the stuff that we see back here, in fact, I don't know if any of the stuff we see back here is modeled. The doors don't open, and yeah, so whoops, didn't mean for that to happen. All right, that's what I'm trying to get. Yep. So we'll get back in our seat and get ready to make this turn into land. Now, one door that does work in this aircraft is this door here. You can see that when I mouse over, let's see, I know I can't open it in flight, but you can see when I mouse over this, the hand changes. So if I was on the ground, I could literally open this door, and I'm scared to try it here because it might just open. So, but the drawers and stuff does not open, and none of this stuff opens. But yeah, let's get back in the cockpit. So we'll start that again and get back in our seat. We're making our turn. And our land should come into view. Land ahoy! So I don't know if you guys are still with me, but I do appreciate you guys stopping by. And if any of you are still with me, then thank you, thank you. You guys are appreciated. So let's look at our flight plan here. and I can see it better on this one because of the glare. Well, actually, if I move in, I can see it. All right, so Gami, and next page. Still got 8 pages to go. 16, so 300 at 16. So I would start my descent at oil, Oscar Romeo Lima. Um, Looks like I'm gonna descend somewhere there about and come down to about 14,000 and descending at 3% glide angle at about 210 knots. That looked kind of slow. Okay. And yep, so that's our plan. So the question is, where's oil? And I don't see it. I don't see that particular waypoint on my iPad. So I do see Lao, Lal. I do see Andro. I see where's Mini. I do see Mini, and I see Unity. So is gonna be oil is way up here. So yeah, I'll be at 16 for a little while. And as you can see, uh, 18 minutes to our destination, given giving us time to fly our flight plan. That's probably going to be more like 22 minutes, my guess. And this is kind of what I was talking about with the yeah, with the scenery outside. So from this perspective, I think that looks pretty good. Um, I don't think that's too far off from what it looks like in real life at 16. So I just add a little bit more N1 throttle, trying to get up to 300, um, about 4 knots shy of it. I need to reset my view so that when I come in and look at my palette view, I can see my N1. Probably should set it till about right here. All right, 300 knots. Happy, happy. So, so I'm climbing just a little bit above des- my desired cruise. So I'm gonna try to bring this back just a touch. And that seemed to have done it. I'm not so sure I got the photogrammetry up in here. Um, I should have it. So let's go ahead and brief our descent. And the first thing I need to know is I'm expecting 35 right. I think it's runway 35 right. And what I need to know is where the FBO is and how to get there. So let's figure that out first. So I can bring up the Navigraph chart and you can see I'm right here at Gami. Um, so I'm gonna fly. Looks like I'm gonna fly downwind to oil, and come back in um, on the ILS for 35 right. All right. So once I get to 35 right, which is here, then I want to know which way to vacate. So I'm gonna go to airport information. And why is that inverted? Say save as Orlando, and with 3-5 right, that means that I am the furthest point from the FBOs as I can be. So let's see if I can. Let's plan to ask ATC for 3-6 left. Okay. And if they give me 3-6 left, take off nav arrival runway next 3-6 left, and looks looks like I only got an R nav in the 3/6 left. So we'll take that at Laura. Okay. And next page. And we were still doing that -5 on the boxer. So yeah, and activate that. And hey, Dennis, how are you? Oh, you did? Thanks. I'm glad that did help. Um, the um, the Challenger 650. So, you know, when I get comments like that, that's literally my paycheck because I don't earn. I'm not one of those people who actually earn any money off my videos or streams. Um, I just don't have enough views to earn any money, even though they are monetized. I just don't get enough. I mean, I literally get about $200 a year, and the tools that I use to produce them cost me a lot more than that. Let's see what my airplane is doing. All right, so I was looking. Okay, so I need to take this guy, copy it. Let's see, clear, 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 clear. All right, I need to take this guy, and then previous oil. So drop it there, and so I go 1580 oil, and this 28 nautical miles drop down to 7. I think that's doable. Okay. So anyway, Dennis, I'm glad you stopped by. I really am. It's always nice to have company. And since I got ForeFlight, it helps me with my situational awareness, and I can see that I have completely moved out of my airpad. I'm not sure where the aircraft is going. So let me get some control of it. So I'm gonna turn nav off. There we go. And turn heading on. And oh man, I am struggling on frames. I'm seeing 5 frames. Usually it'll stick and then release. So I'm expecting that to pick up. There we go. Back up to 40, 45. Okay. And I want to fly directly at this point, directly to, just looking at the iPad, I think I want to fly directly to, I can either fly directly to Mini or directly to Unity. But let's see, if I go to oil, that's lining me up for 17, because 17 is pointing me south, and if I'm going to land on 35 right, 36, then that's going to point my nose to the north. So this flight plan in the iPad looked kind of bonkers to me. So let's let's I don't want I want to go from Unity to my V now. All right. So that's what I want to do. So let me try to fix that in my flight plan. So I want to go to Unity directly to my V now. So I'm gonna bypass oil, and that ought to make more sense to get me lined up for 3-6 left, which I think is what I want now. Okay, so let me do this. Let me get rid of this guy and turn this back on. Turning the wrong way, I do believe. So Unity. So what I want to do is say fly direct to Unity. Next. 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 Direct to Unity. All right. So direct Unity, and then, yeah. Okay. And then turn on the nav, VNav. Get rid of this guy. And there we go. Happy, happy. Now I should be making that turn. And I'm kind of monitoring it on the iPad to make sure that I'm turning in the direction that I want. And my frame rate dropped out again. I got to do some experimenting and see why my frame rates, what's eating up my frame rate. I'm expecting it to come back to give me control at any moment now. And while I'm waiting, let me go ahead and set my altitude from 16 down to minimums. All right, I got it back. So I see the top of descent in the window. And I want my chart. Okay, so 3-5 is not what I'm doing anymore. So how do I change this here? I don't know. I don't use this chart system enough to know my way around it very well. All right, so there we go. Runway, and I want 3-6 left. Add to route. Procedure hours does not connect. Okay, it will be removed. That's perfect. And transition, that box car. Actually, my trans arrival on the Mini 5. I think that's going to be right. So I'm already right here. And where's boxcar? Actually, I'm already at Unity. So I'm not sure. And this is actually supposed to be an RNAV. I don't know. I don't recall what I had in here for Laura. All right, so I'm just not going to be able to use the iPad to keep a good eye on this stuff. But where was my top of descent? Hmm. Okay, and so okay, so it looks like I need to get down in a hurry. So I'm gonna do a vertical descent. And I wish I knew what was eating up my frame rates, because I'm down to less than 1 frame per minute. And it'll stick there, and then it will release, and I get my 40 or 50 frames a minute. But this is just unacceptable. So I'm just kind of waiting on it to give me control. Come on, computer. And when it happens while I'm streaming, that makes it doubly terrible. Let me try hitting another key and getting out of, okay, stop looking out the window, and all right, so that worked. Must be the clouds. All right, so I'm descending. Where's my vertical nav? Okay, I'm descending. There's my vertical nav right here. And we're going to make that 2,700 feet a minute. And I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get down in time enough to salvage this. But by golly, I'm going to try. And where am I going? I'm going to Unity. And where is Unity on my iPad? That's what I'm looking for. So, okay, I've already passed Unity. And this is Laura, which is here. And I want to be at 7,000 feet there. So at this point, I'm gonna go back into VNav and let the VNav control my descent. And I'm on my vertical path, so it might get me down to 7,000 feet by Laura. If not, there's always vertical. Let's look out the window. All right. So this is my turn at Laura. X-band is my next waypoint. I need to be at 4. I'm at 10, so I'm going to vertical. And I am going to make this 3,000. Let's see, right now I got 3,700, so I probably get a message in a second. I'm at 250 knots. So add a little drag here with speed brakes. Speed brakes are deployed. And this is no fun when my frames misbehave. My frames are really taking a beating here. All right, so let me get back in the face in the, just look at the cockpit, take the environment out, see if that doesn't help my frames. All right, so at this point, what I'd like to do is turn my lights off, on, landing lights can go on. And I was expecting to hear my sync rate. I want to be at 4,100 at X band. Still sinking at almost 4,000 feet a minute. So at 5,800, I'm gonna give it back to VNav. All right, speed brakes are out. VNav. and 1,000 feet to go. All right, so that should put me on a path. All right, all right, frames, don't drop out, because that looks so nice. All right, so Warren. All right, here's my airport. The airport is in view. I think, yeah, that's my airport. And why is the VNAV speed set to 318? I don't know, but let's bring that down. All right. And since I'm doing a VNAV, let's see, landing lights are on. Let's go ahead and drop some flaps here. That should give me 15. $41. Oh, you know what? I know why I'm stuck at 41, because that's where I stopped my descent. Shame on me. All right. So let's hope that it work itself down. I'm going back to, I was hoping to go back to VNAV. I mean, VNAV, vertical speed. And I'm at, so I should be at around 1,600 feet. And I'm at 3,900 feet. So I want to take the autopilot completely off at this point. Now this hurts. I can't get down. I can't fly this because of the frames. Normally, I don't have this problem, so I'm not sure why I'm having this problem while I'm streaming. I can record and fly. So I'm hoping, guys, that it clear up in any second now. Let's see if I change views, if that'll help. All right. And seatbelt signs can go on. Blue departing. And I've got drops in gear. Hopefully can create a little bit more drag. And I'm picking up the glide slope.
1,000.
All right. My airplane. Gears down. Speed brakes is off. No, don't do it. Don't do it.
500.
Don't do it.
400.
Don't stall out.
300.
I mean, don't. Let's see, 121 on the speed.
200.
Let's give it a little bit more speed.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
Flare.
10.
Nice. You know what, guys? I believe I know what the problem is. I think it just dawned on me. Actually, let me go here and turn off traffic global. That might be eating up my frames. Even though it's too late now. All right, traffic global, go away. Come back another day. All right, so and we're gonna turn off to the right, to the left. All right. I wish I'd have thought about disabling traffic global before. Because it will grab frames and not release them for some reason. And I think that totally ruined my approach. But it is what it is, right? That's one thing about flight sim. There's no risk of injury, property damage, or death. So it's all good. It's all good. All right. And we are clear of the runway, so we can stop and clean up. I like to use FLT, which is flaps. Get the flaps out, flaps, lights. And heat. Well, FLT. T was for transponder and trim, but That's not a big deal these days. All right, turn the window heat off. Let's turn the APU on. All right, start taxiing. And we are taxiing to signature. And signature is at the other end of the runway. We are getting off, I think we got off right here at Alpha, at, let's see, at Juliet. So we got off right here at Juliet. So we are going to take, uh, well, that didn't quite work out the way I wanted it, but we're going to take Juliet down to signature. And should just have taxi. It is tough for me to use this tiller. Yeah, that's where I want to be. All right, let's get back out into the cockpit. Whoa. So this building down here, this break face building, is going to be our signature. I need to work with the curves on this tiller because the slightest little movement would turn the wheel way too much. Okay. So let's try to get our APU bleeds on. There we go. And that's the pop this off and turn this come on off. All right, so we're headed over here. There's a yellow brick road. And then what I want to do is make a 180-degree turn so I can put my passengers so that they don't have to walk around the plane. There's my marshaller that you guys can't see. All right, so set our brake and turn our gens off. All right, that loads everything on our APU. Turn our taxi light off. And yeah, packs can go off at this point. Come on. And start shutting stuff off. And can turn our engines off. Turn our avionics off. Emergency off. All right. Let's let the passengers out. And all right, passengers, get out. All right, so turn our emergency lights off. Get rid of this again. And, okay. ECAS can go off. And seatbelt signs. And we can turn off our APU. And I like the way this blinks off. Didn't show it. Yeah, it will. Turn the batteries off. And, well, it didn't show it. Anyway, guys, that does it for this flight in the Citation 10 from, which is a default aircraft from X-Plane. Sorry about the poor frame rates. And I hope you enjoyed the flight as much as I enjoyed you guys. And if you catch this on the rerun, then, you know, I'm new at streaming, so everybody got to start somewhere. And yeah, anyway, until next time, y'all come back now.